orgasm lips and orgasm eyes and orgasm cheeks and it's too many orgasms, and I never thought I would say that in my life. If you've been around the makeup world for a little while, you may have noticed that there are some brands that used to be super, super uber popular, and now it's like crickets. I don't even know what happened to some of these brands. So what I did was I asked my community on Twitter and I said, what brands do you feel like were really popular and they're just like dead to you now? And then I thought about, what did these brands do to deserve to be dropped from the spotlight? And what I've developed is these 7 deadly sins that will kill a makeup brand. So if you want to know what those sins are, I'm curious to see if you agree. Hang tight, we're getting into it right now. Before we get started, here is my disclaimer. We have all tried different products from these brands. Because of that, we've all had a unique experience with each of these brands. So just because my experience puts a brand in one of these categories doesn't mean that your experience necessarily will. This is just from my perspective. So this is where you come in. If you feel like a brand needs to be added to one of these categories, if you disagree with the placement where I put one of these brands as committing one of these 7 deadly sins, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, hit the like button if you're enjoying yourself. 'Cause the devil's on my trail. I think this one is the most common reason why a brand dies, and it's because of inconsistent quality or just a general drop in quality. My first thought was when Too Faced was bought by Estee Lauder, their quality seemed to drop significantly, except for the chocolate gold palette, which I personally really liked. I know not everybody loved that, but I loved that palette. But they had those highlighters that were like supposed to be like the Gelée formula or whatever, and you had to like scrub to get any product off at all. Their cream blush products were like super weak and weird. Their eyeshadow formula is so incredibly inconsistent, and I feel like even though their packaging remained absolutely adorable, when you can't functionally use the product, what the heck's the point? Other brands I thought about in this category are Urban Decay, which have been very inconsistent in my opinion recently. Smashbox, that went completely downhill as far as their eyeshadow formula quality, and Morphe, where we had the Jaclyn Hill palette that was this amazing quality, and then it was like, what happened to that? What, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand when you have a formula that works super, super well, why you don't continue to produce products with that formula. Of course, there's plenty of conspiracy theories of why they don't use that formula. Maybe Jaclyn Hill somehow owns it or something. I don't know. It's all conspiracy theories. No one will ever know. But if they could ever continue using that, that would be amazing. But they haven't. And how many years ago was that? 'Cause the devil's on my trail. Deadly sin number 2 is lack of originality. When brands just keep releasing the same crap over and over again. Like, how many brown natural palettes do we actually need? I immediately thought of Tarte when it came to that. Now, they did try to go into the color realm with the Tarte, what was it? Was it a Reloaded palette or something? It was the one with the paint splatter all over it. They did try to go into color, and I guess it didn't really work that well for them. I don't know. I actually really liked that palette. But I also thought of Benefit, who can't seem to go past brow products for some reason. They come out with these amazing brow products, but every time they've ever tried to come up with an eyeshadow product, it just bombs terribly. Do you remember the one that was like two-toned and you're supposed to be able to take this weird brush and just swipe it across your eye? Yeah, that didn't work. And then they had the bendy, pointy eyeliner thingy. Like, they're trying real hard to be innovative, but they're just not executing the innovation very well at all. So they just keep coming out with the same crap over and over again, just in different packaging. Other brands I thought about with this were Becca and Bare Minerals. They just keep coming out with the same old, boring stuff over and over and over again. It's like, oh my gosh. 'Cause the devil's on my trail. The third one, I know you're gonna think of a brand right away when I say oversaturation of products. ABH, I think, is the recent victim to this deadly sin of over launching products, and everybody kept telling them, you need to stop, it's too much. Because I think a lot of us, at least myself and other people that I know, I don't know if this applies to you, I used to collect ABH palettes, the regular rectangle ones. I bought them all, whether I wanted them or not. I bought Subculture, I bought Prejudice, Prism, both palettes, very difficult to use. I know some people do like them. I found them very difficult to use, but I bought them anyway and I kept them and I collected them. But then they started like, it was like with the Jackie Aina palette, I bought the Jackie Aina palette, and then all of a sudden it was like palette, 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 big palette, mini palette, Norvina palette, regular ABH palette. Like what is happening? Like I can't collect these anymore. And they kept saying, well,
you know, if you don't like this palette, maybe you'll like this palette.
And it's like, but that wasn't what that wasn't where we were. We weren't in that kind of relationship. And now you flip the script on me and it's like how? What just happened to us? I thought we were on the same page here, but no. Not on the same page. Another one that I thought about with this is NYX. I felt like NYX was like release, 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 release. And that paired with inconsistent quality, I think is what's kind of buried NYX for a lot of people. But I don't feel like this one buries everybody. Like Revolution, constantly every single week from one of their 500 brands is coming out with things and it's very inconsistent quality there, but they seem to still be in the spotlight and I'm not sure why. We'll have to see what happens with that. The other one I thought of was ColourPop with their constant releases, but they still seem to be in the forefront, but that may be something that might bury them eventually.
'Cause the devil's on my trail.
Number 4 is when something comes out as limited edition and then they flip the script and like, nope, never mind, we're keeping it. It was so popular. We're keeping it now. And first thing I thought of course, was Becca with the Champagne Pop highlighter that was sworn this was gonna be only in the palette, the Jaclyn Hill palette, and it was gonna be gone after that. So you had to get the palette if you wanted to get this very special highlighter, and it's still around today. And it's in many different forms now. You know, they've got the liquid version and they've got the cream version, they got the powder version, they probably got eyeshadows at this point, I don't even know. But it just all the different versions of it, and it's still around. If you can think of other brands that you feel like got buried for that reason, let me know, because that was the big one that I thought of. I'm thinking that Morphe's done that, but I can't remember a specific example of that, so let me know.
'Cause the devil's on my trail.
Number 5 is raising prices for no apparent reason. And again, NYX comes up in my mind. Do you remember those influencer-backed eyeshadow palettes? They were like almost $30. They were like $25 or something for like a palette like that. This is NYX. Like I'm not supposed to have to pay, you know, $25, $30 for an eyeshadow palette that's this big from NYX. It's supposed to be maybe 15 or 20. Like it just seemed very overpriced. And that seemed to be also part of the beginning of the end for them. And then again, another one with this one, I couldn't think of another brand that has fallen into that trap. So if you know of any other brands that fall into that trap, definitely leave those thoughts in the comments.
'Cause the devil's on my trail.
Number 6 is beating a dead horse. When brands come out with their hero lines, like the Urban Decay Naked brand, the NARS Orgasm brand, and they just shove it, and it's like every single product. It's like NARS Orgasm this, and Orgasm that, and Orgasm lips, and Orgasm eyes, and Orgasm cheeks, and it's too many orgasms, and I never thought I would say that in my life. And then the Urban Decay Naked thing. I don't understand why all of these have to do with these kinds of topics, but still, they just like do the same thing over and over and over again with these hero products, and it's like, okay, like I get it, like we've done it, we've enjoyed it, now let's find something new, let's move on. And I feel like that really makes people just tired of a brand. It's like, are they doing that again? Like, aren't we over that? Aren't we past that? Can we just move on?
'Cause the devil's on my trail.
And finally, number 7 is one that should be more powerful, but isn't. It's racism, bigotry, and I'm gonna call them unpopular opinions, but really it's something that the vast majority of humans believe is wrong. And the person behind the brand owner, the brand spokesperson shows that they have that unpopular opinion. I feel like unpopular opinion isn't quite the right word for what I'm trying to say, but it's the closest that I feel like I can get. I don't think I have a word to describe it, to make this a general category. And we saw this the strongest with Kat Von D when she came out as being anti-vaccination. Yes, she did eventually come out with a video that said, no, I'm not anti-vaccination. But if you watch the rest of the video, she goes on to say, if I had known basically if I had known you all would freak out about this, I just wouldn't have shared it with you, is kind of where she went with that video. So I personally like didn't really take that I'm not anti-vaccination super seriously. I mean, who knows what she really does in her own personal life. I don't know her. But what we do know is that stance, along with the alleged anti-Semitism from different avenues. I do have a full video just kind of going over what we know about that situation and the things that people think about that situation. I will link that video down below. But the combination of those things really killed that brand, and to the point where Kat left the brand, and now they're KVD Vegan Beauty, kindness, vegan, distrust. I don't know what they're making it stand for. I don't know, but it's I don't know what's happening with the brand now. I still don't see a lot of people reviewing it. It's not back at its former glory at all. And I think part of it too with that particular brand is she had built such a strong online community around that brand. Her cult following was all online. And when you do these things, when you come out with one of these unpopular opinions, one of these things that these vast majority of people think is wrong, and it spreads like wildfire over the internet, then people will react. The only way to save a brand in that way is if the vast majority of your audience is not online. If most of your audience is just the people going into the store without any background knowledge and just purchasing because of, maybe they've tried a product before, or maybe they like the packaging, or maybe they like the advertising of it, and it's not based on an online reputation. I'm thinking the way things are going, there are going to be a lot more brands falling for the deadly sin number 7. I think that this is going to pull a lot more brands down in the near future. At this point, my friend, it is your turn in the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, where we help each other not to buy crap and also talk about our opinions about makeup and brands. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Do you feel like I got these 7 deadly sins right? Or would you have added something? Would you have taken something away? I would love to know your thoughts. And as always, if there's something that I didn't say quite the way that I meant it, or if someone brings an awareness to me, I will be leaving that in a pinned post at the top of the comment section, so make sure you look there for any corrections that I want to add, because YouTube doesn't allow that after the video has gone live. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a video right down there to watch, but if it is your time to go, it is no problem at all. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you did. Don't forget to hit the like button and the bell notification if you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos. Make sure you set it to all, and mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very soon.